Once more, thanks to Raycon for sponsoring today's video. It's close to the holidays, and Raycon earbuds like their everyday E25 lineup are a great choice for a friend, loved one, or just yourself. Screw them. Now, Raycons are quality Bluetooth earbuds that start at about half the price compared to other premium earbuds out there. I mean, I know folks gotta have their tech, but Jesus Christ. Raycons sound just as good, and you don't have to take my word for that. Celebrities and musicians like Melissa Etheridge, Snoop Dogg, Rich the Kid, and Mike Tyson swear by them. I'd say Mickey Mouse, but I got a feeling his ears just devour any earbuds, the poor little thing. You got a bunch of colors to pick from. I personally dig the red ones myself, and their sleek compact design fits nice in the ears, giving you a great noise isolating fit. They last around 6 hours in a single charge, but the carrying case itself can be charged to give you more hours of playtime on the go. Use them during your next grocery run, or stay in the house and use them while doing chores or while working out like I do. And now more than ever is a great time to grab a pair. For a limited time, you can save 20% off your Raycon purchase by visiting the link in the description below, buyraycon.com/Somecallmejohnny. There's also a 45-day free return policy, so you can make sure you find the right pair for yourself without breaking the bank. Celebrate the holidays with a pair of Raycons, and please do be safe out there. And now let's continue on with the show. So as I'm getting ready for the new year, I figure I spend the rest of this year looking at games you might be interested in for the holidays, 'tis the season and all that. And first up, we have a game that I sort of feel I'm looking at out of obligation given my past marathon. But we got this new Kingdom Hearts game that just came out last week here in America, and it's a console game, not something you find on mobile, so we're gonna give it some attention. Kingdom Hearts Melody of Memories, or MOM for short if you want to make it easier to reference. Maybe MOM could also stand for Master of Masters? Yeah, who cares? We got a game where Kairi is the central focus for this round, a character that after the first game I really felt they had no fucking clue what to do with, especially given how the final act of Kingdom Hearts 3 went. Though I hear that the Remind DLC did a better job in making her less, useless, so I'm happy to hear that. I still have not played the Remind DLC as of this video, so if you're wondering if I was ever going to do a round 2 for Kingdom Hearts 3, the answer is yes, but I basically have to play the whole game again to give you an in-depth viewpoint, compared to my experiences from the vanilla release. Just a matter of time, but not anytime soon. Besides, I had a feeling that you wouldn't need to play the Remind DLC to get the most out of this game. You do need to know the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3 for the story bits at the end of this to have more significance, and yeah, this is another side game that continues the main story. At the very least, it's on the same consoles as the other titles, so it doesn't really sting as much anymore unless you're a dedicated Switch user. However, this is a $60 game, as much as the mainline game, so is it worth it? Well, we got a plot to summarize first, but as always, I'll leave a timestamp here in case you want to skip that part if you're looking to go in blind. Okay, so that was a lie. There's not really a plot in Melody of Memories. It's another one of those glorified recap games. Yay! Ever since Sora used the power of Waken to bring Kairi back to life at the end of Kingdom Hearts 3, the gang is adamant on finding Sora after he disappeared. Where could he be, they wondered, because the idea that he just may be dead doesn't fly with the group, 5 stages of grief and all that. So Ansem and his fellow scientists get the idea to comb through Kairi's memories in hopes of finding clues to where Sora went. What this ultimately amounts to is a literal trip through memory lane for 95% of the game's campaign, reminiscing about Sora's past adventures as told through the eyes of Kairi. The original game, Chain of Memories, Kingdom Hearts 2, 358 Days Over 2, Birth by Sleep, Recoded, Dream Drop Distance, Kingdom Hearts 3, this game has it all, and I have to say, it was pretty tiresome. It's a safe assumption, I think, that the only fans thinking of buying this game are Kingdom Hearts fans. As such, this is all shit we've heard before, stuff we already know. Kairi's perspective bearing one scene adds nothing to the lore, I think, and much like the other recap game in the series, Recoded, it isn't until the end of this adventure where we actually follow up on things that matter, such as the ending of Kingdom Hearts 3. And for God's sakes, hurt is not a noun, stop that! At the tail end of her nostalgia trip, Kairi faces off against an apparition of Master Xehanort. I think it was conjured from her memory or something like that. Though she puts up some resistance, it's the last second assistance of Sora that saves the day. Can't have Kairi doing shit by herself now, can we? I know, this is sounding more like sour grapes, but I really hate the fact that the game that supposedly puts Kairi on the spotlight has little to do with Kairi herself and that she had to transform into Sora to get the job done. Come on, man, I get that she isn't master material yet, but you can't throw her a single bone, let her cut a skyscraper at least. I understand that the point of the story is to find Sora, but couldn't that shit wait until a proper continuation? In fact, I'll say right now, every new cutscene in this game, which isn't much, you're better off watching it on YouTube I think, all of it could have been in the Remind DLC, or placed in the beginning of the next game. But going off the words of Xehanort's ghost near the end with the assistance of the fairy godmother, Kyrie and the gang learn that Sora is beyond the realm of light and darkness, located in what is described as the Quadratum, a world that, according to Anton the Wise, exists in unreality or fiction. Ooh, it just kills them to not use simple terms like different dimensions and what have you. Unreality, what the fuck is this? But yeah, they got an idea of where Sora's located, so now it's a matter of learning how to get there, which isn't a problem for Riku. He has the power of Waken, so he can just pop in at any time he wants. It's just how it works. Everybody else, though, it's a little trickier. Yensid implores Mickey to search for clues in ancient Latin town, since the Keyblade masters of old have prior experience with traveling to other realms, so that's likely where the Union Cross stuff will have more spotlight in the future. Kairi, on the other hand, begins her training anew under the tutelage of Aqua, and that's something I can jive with, and man, I really hope by the next game, it actually has some proper fucking payoff. Okay, so this is known as the Quadratum. Alright, I honestly thought it was something from The World Ends With You, and who knows, it could still be. It could be a whole bunch of square shenanigans in general by the fourth game. The word Quadratum is Latin for square, so maybe the paradigm shift for the next story arc will be less on the Disney stuff, and more on whatever Tetsuya Nomura can put on paper. Interesting and horrifying to ponder, but this is Kingdom Hearts, the roller coaster that never ends and is impossible to escape from. So what is Melody of Memories as a game? For this side project, we got ourselves a rhythm game courtesy of Indie Zero, the same folks behind the Theatrhythm Final Fantasy games on the 3DS. The first one I played a considerable amount of. I dig rhythm games. I mentioned in the PlayStation 2 video how big I was on Dance Dance Revolution and Guitar Hero, but besides those, shit, I played a ton of Step Mania just using the keyboard, Parappa the Rapper, I played games like Guitar Man, I tried my hands on one of those Hatsune Miku titles while at a convention. There was even this Japanese-only arcade machine I played earlier this year that was developed by Sega. What the fuck was it called? Okay, that's what it was. Thank you, Nora. You tap buttons to the beat. I played a lot of Sonic and Bayonetta songs and that thing. It was fun. I remember Social Activity. So yeah, a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, and there really isn't much more to it than that. You're reliving past memories, playing tracks from all previous Kingdom Hearts games in order to unlock additional songs for progression or to play at your leisure, and there's also a shitload of additional collectibles to obtain like concept art, profile icons for online play, and a lot of other numbers that can go up. Through a combination of Keyblade swings, jumps, and special attacks, you're timing button presses to the beat. The higher the difficulty chosen, the more complex the charts become. And this kind of gameplay comes in 3 different flavors. The on-foot tracks are the most common, and as you continue playing, you can unlock other teams like Team Heartbreak, Team Heartbreak number 2, and Team Sleep. Purely for aesthetical purposes, I think. There is an RPG element to the game where you can level up as you finish songs, but it doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things. No real bearing on how you complete songs. As long as you hit the notes on time, that's all that matters. But there's also items you can make in the synthesis shop that can help even the odds. Potions to keep you alive if you fuck up too many times, or someone like Mickey who can help you get those bonus multipliers so that you can earn those extra stars for completing certain objectives. You're going to be playing these songs a whole bunch of times if you want to grab all those stars in World Tour, or if you want to fill up the museum. Look at all those slots you can fill up with glorified JPEGs. Some missions require repeated visits to fulfill an arbitrary quota, while some require a specific point threshold on a specific difficulty, and it has to be on that difficulty, so no, completing a song in standard mode won't count for a challenge meant for beginner mode. Besides running on foot, there's also the more cinematic variations where you're flying towards a collection of FMVs and trying not to let that distract you as you keep missing those damn button prompts anyway. But this is always the risk you take in rhythm games when you have this sort of setup. It's flashy and full of spectacle, but can be incredibly disorienting. Not as disorienting as some of the boss tracks though. In an effort to combine the best of both worlds, I think, there are some selections where your team is seen fighting the boss in the back, and in order to survive their attacks you have to keep up with the music notes. It's no different than what you already do in the other modes when you break it down, but this feels more direct, I guess you could look at it that way. Still, trying not to look at the battle happening in the back while remaining fixated on the music chart is sometimes the real fucking challenge, and I'm proud, man, my brain gets fumbled so easily. Those hold notes can be a real son of a bitch when combined with other buttons. But again, that really is the main gist of Melody of Memory, and should be obvious, it all boils down to whether you like rhythm games, because I tell you now, there isn't anything else beyond that besides playing a game with a friend or online against someone who will inevitably rage quit when they realize they're losing, the fucking coward. It took me around 10 hours to complete the world tour. That's where you revisit all the old Kingdom Hearts worlds and play the tracks available. And obviously there's a bunch of music to experience, from games I loved to the ones that I didn't. Unless I needed some extra stars to unlock some optional courses, I tended to stick with the standard difficulty, though Proud mode was more than playable. In fact, there are some songs that I feel have a better chart flow in Proud, as opposed to the awkward spacing you could run into in standard. Battle music seemed to translate the best into the game. I feel the higher the energy, the easier it is to get a feel of the song. I mean, it also helps that I played all these games before, so I have the advantage of knowing how the song should play out, but even with prior knowledge, there are some songs here that don't work with rhythm games at all because of their compositions. Field themes are totally hit and miss. Hollow Bastion's Overworld beats his castle from Kingdom Hearts 2, almost all the fucking Dream Drop Distance music. These are just a couple of examples I can immediately think of that gave me a hard time because of their unusual measures. Also, they go and make a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game, but fucking leave out the Symphony of Sorcery roll from Dream Drop Distance. What the shit? That was such an obvious inclusion. Was it too obvious?
Shut up!
Don't shut me up, I'm serious here. The Fantasia world, man. It's all music, so...
Shut up.
Yes, sir. Despite that weird omission, I'd say the musical selection is nice and varied. They even added stuff like Circle of Life from Lion King and A Whole New World from Aladdin, though I personally would have preferred A Friend Like Me, even if it would make me horribly depressed by the end of it. I was sort of surprised that they used the original PS2 compositions for Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2 songs. They do have more synth as opposed to the HD remixes, so that's probably why, but when I heard these, I thought, oh no, that means we're getting the pirate farts from Pirates in the Caribbean. Because I don't know if you've heard it, but the composition in that original version was terrible. But no, there's no Pirates representation in Melody of Memories at all, if you don't count all the Peter Pan stuff. No Pirates, no Winnie the Pooh, no Tarzan, but that's been the case for over 18 years at this point, so that's nothing new. It's pretty strange, but I can see this game getting a bunch of DLC later, or maybe a re-release because Kingdom Hearts lives for that sort of shit. They can add more songs from other Disney properties, or maybe Final Fantasy. They already got Theatrhythm models for the load screen, so let's go the extra distance, you know? And if the game does get DLC later, man, that shit better be free, because there is no way in hell Melody of Memory is worth the $60 investment as it is now. I'm sorry, no. The minuscule amount of story content it contains near the end of the adventure can easily be watched in less than half an hour on YouTube. The presentation shamelessly reuses a ton of assets from the Kingdom Hearts HD collection. You know what's bad when the Kingdom Hearts 3 content is just a bunch of single-track FMV levels because they couldn't be bothered to port over HD assets, or didn't want to make new assets altogether that could accommodate the Nintendo Switch's infrastructure. This is a multi-platform game after all, although they did make a PS2 model for Kairi and Sora's appearance from Kingdom Hearts 3, and that was a nice surprise. Brownie points for the effort at least. The gameplay is perfectly functional, but everything is shown to you in its entirety less than an hour in. In my eyes, this is all better suited for a mobile game market that's instead being pushed on consoles at full retail price. Shit, the Theatrhythm games were $30-40 at most, and even that was too high for some folks. So, price drop. No doubt in my mind, wait for that price drop. It's a Kingdom Hearts rhythm game that, as far as rhythm games go, is nothing special and only has appeal to that specific market, which granted is the entire point, I'm aware. But it ain't something you blow fucking $60 on, not a chance in hell. It's a harmless new add-on to the Kingdom Hearts brouhaha, but it is certainly not must own. And again, at some point I will try to find the time to give the Remind DLC a shot for an eventual Kingdom Hearts 3 revisit, but it's not going to be for a while. Well, the PlayStation 5 is now a thing, and it's about time I pop my cherry for that one. So let's say we give Spider-Man another swing. We can also probably do a spotlight on that, like that Astral's Playroom that comes with the console. There's a lot of stuff we can do there. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time with Spider-Man Miles Morales on the PlayStation 5. As always, thank you all for watching. Stay safe, wash your hands, wear a mask if you decide to go outside. Have yourselves a fantastic night, and take care.